So, Corporal Chris Backus, here we are
Hi,
at
Cole.
RCMP in Kaslo. We're going to do an update.
An update, sure. I guess just to maybe start off, we're three fairly new members here in the community, and I've arrived here now. Well, I arrived in February of this year.
Yeah.
And there's three of us here, so we've just sort of all gotten settled in here now. You can expect that all three of us be the same three police officers for the next couple of years, 2 or 3 years, which I think is a big asset to Kaslo and the community. I know that oftentimes there's been concern with the high turnover of police officers and having them not really get to know the community as well, and before they, just as soon as they get to know people, they're on their way. So the feedback certainly I'm getting from our guys here and even myself that we're really enjoying living in Kaslo, and we feel we are getting to know the community quite well.
Good.
And I think, again, you can expect to see the same three people calling Kaslo home for a while, which I think is good.
That's great.
Certainly, if we're doing an update, one of the big issues that's come about in fall, it's fall time now, and bears have often been reported to our detachment. And so I did want to just sort of address the issue of bears in Kaslo with respect to how the police are involved in bear calls. The police are there to respond to a bear call when someone is in imminent danger or bodily harm from the bear. So if someone feels that their life is threatened, we obviously will respond to that. We'll make a judgment as to this, do a threat assessment, and certainly if the bear needs to be shot to preserve or prevent injury and preserve life, the bear would be shot. Having said this, though, there's two very different opinions, group opinions in Kaslo. It's a divided community, and I don't know whether the community is aware of how divided it is. There's group one who believes that, if the bears are in our community, in the vicinity of the village, amongst people eating fruit off trees, that they should be destroyed, that they should be shot. There's the other group here in Kaslo that feels that, we are in Kaslo, we're in a mountainous region, and that when bears come into the village, that there should be a certain tolerance level to allowing them to come in. We do grow fruit trees, and it's just a natural, process for a bear to want to come in at this time of the year before hibernation. So we don't, the police, we're not siding one way or another. We're not going to publicly say, well, we want all the bears, because we don't really have an opinion. Our opinion is just the fact. The fact is we'll protect people when the bears are, causing them imminent harm, meaning there's an immediate danger. And these types of situations, we don't want bears near the school, near kids, and these types of things. But one thing I do want to say is just there is a process of adaptability, meaning bears are indeed used to seeing people here now. They come into our village. They eat our fruit, the fruit trees that we grow. When you see a bear and the bear and you call us and you say, well that bear wasn't scared of me at all. Well, that's not necessarily a sign of aggression. That bear has adapted over time, right? If you ask a person from Kaslo who's grown up here their whole lives, they're used to seeing bears as well. So adaptability is a factor there that everyone in the village and in the regional district has to consider. Bears are certainly around here not going to be as scared because they've been doing this forever. When a bear becomes aggressive and a bear charges, these are other issues, right? But is the bear charging because somebody's dog has chased after it? Is the bear charging because people are throwing things at it or poking sticks? Is the bear upset because they've got cubs nearby as well? So keep in mind there are two different groups of people in this town, and each situation has to be looked at carefully. So when we get a situation with bears where we're not going to take immediate action, we do refer all those situations to the conservation officer. And then the conservation officer comes in and does his preventative measures, which there are bear traps set up around Kaslo. But the problem, again, with the bear traps is they put the bait inside, and in the morning the bait's gone.
Yes.
And call it what you will, make inferences. I'm suggesting that it would be hard for a bear to get in and out of the trap and take the bait. I'm sure that there are some pro-bear supporters out there that remove the bait from the traps as well. So
Right.
you have to understand that the frustration on both sides is mounting, but they have to sort of, for a small moment in time, consider the concerns of the other group.
Right.
And I think that's how we're going to have to approach our bear problem. But where the police becomes involved is where there's an imminent threat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we should just call it, like, get the fruit tree picking project people to come and pick up fruit. And
Absolutely.
Call the conservation officer.
Those bears right now, they're going to hibernate. They're going to sleep for the next 6 months if possible. They are going to eat themselves to become chubby and fat, and we have the fruit trees that possess that fruit for them to sustain life during the winter. This is a natural process that's been occurring for hundreds of years. We just have all of a sudden decided to grow fruit trees all over the village. So if you don't want bears near your house, I would just make the recommendation that you keep your fruit trees picked. Pick your fruit daily from the ground, not weekly, daily. And be very, very cognizant of where you keep your garbage. Garbage in a plastic can with a lid that just sits on top is not secure garbage. So you need to strap your lids down and things. These are things that will prevent bears from coming into your yard and around the vicinity that you may not want them to be in. So.
Okay.
Moving on, this month I did want to say October is our federal sort of initiative, a traffic initiative in the RCMP. It's called Operation Impact. So I've always been a very proactive traffic person in Kaslo. I've been very public to always say we don't like finding people here locally. So I usually like to try and warn them. And certainly the warning and everything is that we have an initiative this month where we're going to increase our traffic enforcement, speeding, seat belts, Motor Vehicle Act infractions. There's going to be an initiative to step that up now. And so I'm just basically trying to save a few Kasloites, a few bucks, and I don't like writing the ticket any more than they like getting it. So make my job hard for me in October. Buckle up, obey the laws of the road, and if our Operation Impact is a statistical failure, it will be a local success, I suppose, is the way we'll look at it.
Hey, can I ask you some questions about that? You know how sometimes you see in town what are they? They're not police officers, but they're something else, motor or something, and they stop you to make sure your car is all fine and dandy. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not too sure what you're referring to, but there are the 3 local police officers that are here. Then there's the West Kootenay Traffic Services. It's out of Nelson. And there's also an integrated road safety unit out of Nelson.